Just have the seats that have been set up and then the final touches that are currently underway for when those members are going to come into this setup, which resembles the normal sitting of a National Assembly in Parliament that would happen in Parliament, and this is how it has been divided. And someone was describing it as they call it, it is a horseshoe. It's a horseshoe setup. So where you have the mics currently being set up, that's where the MPs will be taking their oath of office, as we indicated a bit earlier on today as well, about that oath of office and why that oath of office is so important. I just quickly want to read through it, Naledi, because this is where MPs will essentially be swearing allegiance to the country as well as the Constitution. I, Aldrin Sampear, affirm that I will be faithful to the Republic of South Africa and will obey, respect, uphold the Constitution and all other law of the Republic, and solemnly promise to perform my functions as a member of the National Assembly, permanent delegate of the National Council of Provinces. As we know, of course, that the provincial legislatures will also be sitting today, some of them at least. And then on this side, Naledi, you have where the ANC would normally sit as well. As we know, they would sit in the National Assembly, and there you have all the various names of the ANC's members of Parliament, starting off with Majodina Pemi, and then of course you have Cyril Ramaphosa, the president of the ANC, and Mantashe Gwede Samson, who is the chairperson of the ANC. Then on the other side, directly opposite that sitting, is where you have the Democratic Alliance, which is the official opposition of the country, and right in front, John Steenhuisen, who is the leader of the Democratic Alliance, Siviwe Kwarupe, the chief whip of the Democratic Alliance. Not too sure whether that role would be changing any time soon, considering the negotiations that are currently underway around the government. Roles would be changed. And then you also have, ordinarily after the Democratic Alliance, you will have the EFF, but this time around it's very different. You have uMkhonto weSizwe political party, because they are now currently the third biggest political party in the country. And there you have it. Tutuzile Zuma Sambula is part of those members. And then you also have Des van Rooyen, who is a return MP to the National Assembly, and the other members of Parliament. But you don't have Jabulani Khumalo. And of course, yesterday there was a matter where the Western Cape High Court has ruled on that matter. Xolile George is the Secretary of Parliament. He's joining us now. Very good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. We see that Jabulani Khumalo's name is not there.
Good morning, Adrian. Good morning to all the viewers of Newzroom Afrika. Yes, for today, all the members of Parliament that we have received in terms of the Gazette have been invited to form part, which is 400 members for the National Assembly. However, parties are allowed to indicate to us if there are any changes leading to this day and also after this period. So you would not see his name, because his party has communicated to us last week that they have made adjustment for about 7 members of the party, of which we have communicated to all those members, which our requirements are to notify them, to indicate we are in receipt of correspondence from your party indicating that you are no longer a member. Whether it is resignation or expulsion, they indicate to us. And by operation of the law, in terms of Section 47, 1C, that member ceases to be a member of Parliament because he or she came through the party, which is what the Constitution requires for party representation. It happens to all other parties, and we duly notify them that your party indicated that they have followed all the due process. So you wouldn't see the members, about 7 of them, from the MK party, by communication of their party, and we have done that.
Okay. Have you received any updates as yet, whether any of their members will be attending? Have any been registered as yet?
There's about 5 members, Adrian, that have been confirmed. So in that area they have been registered, and we indicated yesterday all members of all political parties are members of Parliament. They are required to be present here to ensure that the proceedings run smoothly, and they are sworn in to operationalize them as members. Without being sworn in, Aldrin, there is no possibility that a member can start doing the work of the members. So we will be swearing in members. Those members who have not been sworn in, after that, there will be intervals of swearing, which will be determined by the Speaker or Deputy Speaker or anyone that shall have been designated by the new Speaker of the National Assembly. So it is not like today you have not been sworn in, you can't be sworn in next week, you can't be sworn in any other time. But the new Speaker will be able to determine timelines within which any member will be brought in to be sworn in.
Yeah. And in terms of the expulsion rules that apply to the National Assembly, at what stage do you start counting that a member has been absent for consecutive days?
There are rules governing the sitting of each house. The National Assembly rules, there's also National Council of Provinces rules. There is also joint rules sitting in terms of a member missing three sittings, and that member, there will be communication, of course, to parties to establish all facts. But the rules are very clear in terms of what will happen if a member continues to meet after being activated as a member. It won't be about missing prior. You need to be operationalized as a member to be able to undertake the business of the House.
Okay. So when do you start counting?
Members will be sworn in. There will be operation of the House immediately that the House is fully constituted. After that, there will be orientation of members. The first sittings, for instance, the National Assembly is sitting on the 25th of June in terms of formal sitting. So members that are in the list of parties that would have been operationalized, then the system will be able to pick up which members are consistently meet and what's the reason. Yeah. So missing may be caused by many factors. It could be somebody incapacitated or any other reasons. So the facts will determine how the response must be in terms of treatment of the rules.
Just a quick final one. The State of the Nation address, do you have a date as yet?
We are informed that the State of the Nation address, oh, you mean State of the Nation address? Sorry, I was almost talking about inauguration.
No, the State of the Nation address.
We are envisaging that by July, the first opening of Parliament. It's not called the State of the Nation. State of the Nation happens around February for the President to outline his vision for his government and so on. But this one, in terms of the rules, it will be the opening of Parliament, meaning for each end of the term. So we envisage that by July. But that is done through communication by the head of state to summon the joint sitting of the houses in terms of the Constitution of the Republic. So we just envisage that by July, we will receive a date from the President to indicate when he or she would expect the joint sitting, to summon it to sit in order to deliver an address.
Thank you so much for your time. Xolile George is the Secretary of Parliament. So it's all systems go for the swearing in of the new members of the National Assembly.